Hey everyone, how you doing? We're only going to be live for about almost 2 hours because I've got to start preparation for a chat we're doing with the Elementor team and Jeffrey from Lightbox, which is in 3 hours time. But in 2 hours time, we have to get prepped for it and connected and everything. And then in a 3 hours time, we're doing a live chat about Elemental Cloud and stuff. Hey Peter, hope you're okay. I hope you've printed out that list of plugins I gave you. You're now checking off which ones you've got. Of course, they're just the common ones I use, okay? And you would obviously go and use plugins that are suitable for what you're trying to achieve. But the essentials, there's only like 7. I think I had that in total. That they're definitely ones I would have on every website. After that, you don't have to have all other stuff unless you need it. I hope the weather's okay for you wherever. I was gonna say wherever you are, but where you are, I hope the weather's going okay. Hey, Mark. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Only use what you need to use. I mean, I've been onto some websites where they're really simple, basic website, but because they've watched a video somewhere that says all this stuff, they've got loads of stuff on. And sometimes the plugins they've got are doing the same job as another plugin, but because they watched a tutorial or a video that said, hey, install this, they go and install it, but or they fail to understand. I mean, I learned this when I first started using Elementor Free, before I made the switch to Pro, and I had happy add-ons, premium add-ons, essential add-ons, or exclusive, one of those ones. And I think I had master add-ons as well. Because you're like, ooh, loads of features. You feel like it's a toy box. Hey, Stacey, you feel like it's a toy box and you want to have all of these extra features. And then you realize when you have a plugin conflict or things just go weird or you can't edit, that's when you start to understand, okay, do I really need that plugin? Nope. Happy Add-ons was one of my favorites before I got Elementor Pro. It was a nice plugin. I really liked all the extra stuff you got with it, especially the shape dividers. But now, I say this a lot, 99% of all of the websites we build are just Elementor Pro, no extra plugin. You do a bit of CSS where you have to, you do a bit of compromise, but I try to resist as much as possible any extra plugins. Because it could be a recipe for disaster. Or not. Or yes. We don't know. So this morning I finalized and uploaded 3 new videos for our our YouTube channel. That means that our videos on YouTube now, we've actually got videos scheduled until the 21st of June. 21st of June. We're way ahead. And I've got an idea for 2 more that I'll probably sort out tomorrow. And I've managed to go through some emails that were... Hey, Jimmy. But Jimmy, I finally got your emails this morning, okay? Went through them, studied them. And I had, like I said in my email back to you, I hope you got it. I had a sneak peek of your website. I love the whole gallery effect. It's so cool. So I went through some outstanding emails. Gerald, I don't think Gerald is on this morning, but I went and did some changes to his website, just to steer him on the right path. And also I gave him a bit more advice and guidance about bulk resized photos, and now I think he's converted. I don't just mean converted as in converted images. He's now understands the power of bulkresizedphotos.com. I think he did 350 images, and he came back to me with like he can't believe how fast it did it. He's amazed. He's just gobsmacked by how quick it was. 350 photos in one go. Did them all just like that in one go. It's all about creativity, isn't it, Jimmy? It's about taking something that's there and then just kind of thinking out the box with how to apply it. Yeah, no probs, Jimmy. But yeah, so with Gerald, I had a talk with him about his business and what he's doing. And I said, right, we need to change the colour of your website. You can keep the reddish colour, but we've got to change the background colour, your header, your layout. And I even told him, do something I always tell people don't do. So I've now told him, make sure you've got 3 slides at the top of your page. Make sure you've got slides there. Because his is about concert photos. And for me, concert websites work really well with dark backgrounds. Dark. Because your photos often are taken in the dark as well. So you want your photos to almost blend with the background. And when you have a website which is wedding photography or basically anything involving photography, carousels and sliders really work because you want to get across the different images and stuff straight away, the talents you have. So I got 3 images for him just of concerts, just to give him an idea. Look at the impact this has with good impact statements. Headlines, kick ass. They brought the stadium down. They brought the stadium down? I don't think that's right. But thinking about good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mist, fog. Don't worry. I know what you meant, Peter. Don't worry. So that was a lot of good stuff. Now, if anyone's wondering why am I starting now and not earlier, it's because I have found that if I start earlier in the day, I have people joining, but a lot of people tend to come on after midday UK time. Obviously, because if you're in America right now, depending on where you are in America, it's probably 8 o'clock in the morning. But if I go live at, say, 10 a.m. my time, it's probably 6 a.m. in the morning for you, which means I thought, well, this time kind of fits a bit more nicer for almost worldwide, almost. But it also meant I got a chance to just hit hard on loads of stuff in the morning with emails, uploading videos, answering some emails and questions, and just double checking with Elementor 3.6. So Elementor 3.6, the big thing is the Flexbox, or the Flex containers, which has now moved into alpha testing, which means it's close to coming out. I might play around with it and do a video maybe on the usage of it. I'm still a little bit... There's a part of me that still feels like waiting until the final version is out. The only bad side to all of this Flex container with 3.6 is so many of my videos that are already scheduled for the next 3 months, they're still using the old section and column approach, which I'm not overly fussed about, to be honest. But future videos eventually will be just focusing on the Flex container approach. And what I'd love to do is just have a section built in the old style, have a section built in a new style, and then we hack into it and go, right, let's get busy and understand it. And if you start to understand, your space between, space evenly, left, right, align and all of that, it should start to become easy. I know some people have said, yeah, but I understand sections and columns. I don't want to use it. You don't have to use it. However, at a point in time, right, I remember when I first started using Elementor and sections, columns, I was like, huh? It took me a while to get my head around it. And then I got it. And once you get it, you kind of never look back. So I think flex containers, anyone who's worried about it or whatever, I wouldn't. You will eventually get it. Trust me, you will. So I'm just going to double check this website that I'm just fine tuning. This bit here is not working for me very well. I find it a bit too boxy. So Stacey, quick question. I want a more in-depth knowledge of Elementor due to the fact that there are not many educational offers out there. Do you think that the mastery would be an optimal solution for that? Yeah, it's not just about the business, Stacey. So I know we talk about the business side quite a lot, but it's not just about that. So I've had a few one-to-ones with Gerald about his website, going through how he can improve, and I've gone and tinkered with a few stuff. I've also done it for a few other members as well. We had someone who had a bit of a review of their website yesterday. I gave them a detailed review. We have over 4 hours worth of videos. We also have a website checklist, step by step, in terms of what you should approach when. I'm not talking about the videos. It's literally step by step what you should approach. And it is about it's not a complete hand-holding session. However, if I feel like I need to pull you back a little bit and go, right, we need to really explore this a little bit, or change your way of thinking of how to do something, we would do that. So yes, there's a lot of focus on the business, branding, marketing side of things. Hey Jason, but it isn't just about that, because it's about website design. Sorry, let me answer your question. It is the educational side of it as well. Okay, so it is about if I know you're struggling with headers or hero banners or section columns, or even like pixels or font sizing or stuff like that, they're all the sort of things we would discuss as well. And there are some freebies we throw in there as well, so there's stuff in there we give away as well. Yeah, Michelle, yeah, thanks for that, yeah. And it's also about a community as well. So in the old days, if I had an Elementor question, I would just go to the Facebook Elementor community group that we have on Facebook. And I would still go there if I had a really burning question that was troubling me. But for some people have said there's been they get a mixed response on the Facebook group. Sometimes you get a good response, sometimes you get a critical response, sometimes you don't get a response and you're just left waiting. Unless we're asleep or I'm on a phone call, I and others are very, very responsive on the Mastery membership. And freebies. Very good, Peter, actually. That's a very good pun you've done there, freebies. Very, very clever, that. So it is about, where was I? Yeah, the community. So we have our private Facebook group. And somewhat questions we ask each other on there, or you might want a opinion over how your website looks. Look, if you put your website onto, say, the Elementor group or other groups, you got to accept that you're going to get some lovely comments, hard-hitting comments, and some comments where they had no intention but to just criticize. They don't care how good your website was, they were just going to do that. And you'll find that in tons of forums and groups out there. That's life, you just can't get away from that. We will be honest in our mastery group. However, there's a way to sometimes, if you feel like something needs to be improved or it's not working, you don't just say that's rubbish. What you kind of do is say, have you thought about doing X, Y, Z? And maybe here's a way to do it. So it is about support. So yes, there's a lot of focus on the business, but there's a lot of focus on the web design, courses, checklists, and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly what Mark said there. We are always developing, extending, adding things to it. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's now going to be coming out on there, which is about the use of social media and types of content you can do to help yourself out. Because it's really easy to look. I was watching a video earlier, so Primal Video. I love watching his videos, and he's decided that he's going to do a course about YouTube videos. And I don't want to criticize here, but I watched his intro. It was over an hour long, and I replayed it this morning, and I sat there watching it. And a lot of the stuff he covered, I already know. And then they go, right, here you go, you join this mastery program, and this is what they're focusing on. And it feels like they're just focusing on one thing. And then there's other courses out there that say they're going to focus on web design, and they just focus on that. And then you have a separate one for sales accelerators. You probably know which company I mean. They just focus on that. We are quite broad in terms of it's not just about website. It's not just about the social media. It's not just about the marketing, the branding, the logos, and all of that. There's a wealth of stuff that we've got out there, and we're going to be expanding on. But also, I think the key thing is that we have got a great community in there. You know, Peter, first time he joined yesterday, I hope he got a feel for it. And we have different personalities. And I would always say that as we add more and more people, it'll become very varied. And I hope we still continue the great spirit we have in there. But it's wonderful. It's lovely. And it's not just about me or Mark giving answers and stuff like that. It's actually other members of the group. So it might be that someone asks a question and Michelle, who's part of the group, gives the answer because I haven't had a chance to reply yet. And that's the great thing about it. You're not just waiting on one or two people, to the moderators, to kind of provide the answer, and everyone is sat there just waiting for what is the best answer. No, it's like we can all contribute and help each other out. And Peter, you know, he comes, you know, he's joined a group and he's got experience of using LMS systems. I don't really use LMS. I tend to use like Paid Membership Pro. But maybe I might go, well, I wonder if I could try X, Y, Z. And it's great to have someone else who's got experience that you could, you know, bat ideas off with. Or if I want to talk about bumblebees, I know he's an expert in that as well. Yeah, sure, Stacey. Yeah, no. Look, if ever like your boss needed, I wouldn't say more convincing, but if they ever wanted to approach us, you know, please do. It's fine. Or what I will say though is that we are not planning any price increase yet, but I don't want to say that, say come autumn time, that the price will still be what it is now, because we've had a lot of feedback from some experts in the field, and what they're saying to us is hey Dave, no, you're not late, Dave, you're not late. It's only been 18 minutes. You're not late at all. It's only been 19 minutes. Is that what I was going to say? Yeah, we've been told that our prices are very, very low at the moment, and we do need to increase them up. But we have a scale model, and we like to think very carefully, and we don't want to outprice anyone. But good question, Stacey, by the way. You know, and I hope anyone else who's joined in who might have been thinking about it, I hope that helps to answer some stuff there as well. You know, one of the things I hate, you know, when you're working on your website and the gradients are not there. So look, here's what it looks like on live. Can you see the gradients? Yeah, so you can see those gradients. So you can see the gradients merging in and all of that, okay? Sometimes I really hate it when you go to edit mode and the gradients, they're gone. I know the gradients there, it's just the way editor sometimes shows it. That really annoys me though. Because you're sat there going, is it the right gradient? And you got to keep jumping into like your preview mode to just see it. That really annoys me. Does anyone else get that problem? Like, look here. Look how awful that looks. But actually, when you view it here, can you see the merge going on there? It's not so bad, okay? It's just like, yeah, we could do without that. I might take that border off, actually. I'm not sure I'm liking that border. We'll just go with that. No, I'm not even liking that border either. Let's just try that out. Just studying it. Just studying it. Sweet dreams are made of us. Who am I? I'll say I travel the world. All something. Ooh, 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 ooh. What you all working on today? I should actually be listening to the radio just to find out what's happening in the UK with the government right now. So premium add-ons have just done their update, obviously in line with Elementor 3.6. Lazy day, Dan. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a bit of... Oh, I don't know now if I will or not. I probably might do some gardening in the morning. Nice one, Jimmy. You know when you're doing a quote and like you really, really want it. It can feel gutting when you don't, but yeah, you just got to do the best quote you can. Just as much added value that you think's going to work for them. No, listening to music's good, Dan. Oh, did you? Oh, I must have missed that question. You asked yesterday about a website and they use SVG. Do you have any? Oh, yeah, the yellow one, the grey and yellow one. Yeah. I don't actually have any videos about that, but I'll make a note of it. Okay. I'll see if I can what's my pen? SVG. I'll have a look at that. Okay, I'll have a look at that. I mean, in fact, I do have a video for that. Hold on, I do. I lie. I have got a video. Let me just dig it out. I'm sure I have. I've got something. I am pretty sure I've got something that... I'm sure I've got... I mean, what you could do is create the SVG in Canva. What I'm going to send you, right, yeah, is not... is not going to solve exactly what you want, but hey George, yeah, I need to let me. I think I need to create one because I've got one with SVGs that you could create with Canva, but I don't think it's going to give you what you need. Yeah, it's. Do you know? Sometimes you can get stuck into just trying to work out what you want to do, Dave, but scribble. Just grab a bit of paper and scribble down and then just run with it. So Stacy is saying, I haven't done an intranet site with Elementor. Never done that. Calendar events. Do the calendar events need to be linked into like Google Calendar or anything? I mean, there's events calendar. That's a good plugin. There's modern events as well. That's a good plugin. Oh, George, the question, yeah. So this is a bit Dan's question where there was that SVG, where that code that was pulled out yesterday, where you got the tilted one. So Stacy, when you say for observation, what do you mean? Just to see where the person is available, free, or they're booked up? So it literally is just that. Oh, so yeah, George. So Dan is asking how would they do that? Because I remember yesterday there was that code. In fact, I think the person who posted that also put the code into their. From memory, I think they put the code into their website as well. Not into their website, into the comments. They put the code there. It's got to dig it out. Where's that code? Haha. Yes, Dave, be careful of your sister. They will always say your website is amazing. You got to watch out for your sister. They're honest, but not completely honest. Okay, oh, was that you, George, who added it in? I thought I saw the code in there. Yeah, it's that website. I think you might have been the one who stuck the code in there then, yeah. So Stacy is looking for events for the company, date, times, and title. Company, date, times, title. You could use the events calendar, which is free. The events calendar, you don't need the premium version, but you could, if you want, add events on. The thing is, you got to manually add the events on, I think, and then you could use that to show what's been booked and what isn't, or what their availability's like. Hey, Sayed. Okay, let me just see if I can Themify. So Life Builder, you need to use Themify, which is a product filter, or Shop Engine. In fact, Shop Engine plugin. Yeah, Shop Engine. That. Yeah. So Shop Engine plugin, which is free. That you can basically customize your account page, your shop page, your product page, your cart page, checkout page, loads of stuff. Shop Engine. In fact, I think I mentioned Shop Engine in this video. Here you go. Look, so Shop Engine. All right, use that. Yeah, see you later, Pixstar. Take care. Right, I'm just going to try and do something here with something. Yeah, events manager. I'm not. Don't think I've used that one. Why is that SVG not loading? Right, I'm just trying to do something on here. I'm just trying to find something. Like that. Let's just... All right, so here's something you could do. Where's he gone? Dan. If you're still there, Dan. Here's something you could do. Okay, so this is just a fake page, right? Ignore everything on it. This is just a fake page, just for building stuff and messing around. So I'm just gonna stick an icon in, right? And I'll just pick one of my icons. Let's just go for this stop thing over here. One of these ones here, right? I'm going to increase the size to actually be 1000, like that. I mean, this is really rubbish what I've done at the moment, isn't it? Let me just make some boxed width as well. I don't know. Actually, no, box width's not going to do a thing. If I just go over to this icon and I can start to rotate it, now it rotates that way, but if I put it back over here, say 20, and put in a negative there, it's now flipped like the other way, in a way, kind of thing. The only trouble is, though, is that it's kind of slipping all off at the moment, so just make sure your overflow is hidden. But this is one way how, like, once you've imported your SVG, whatever, you could add something in like that. Shape divider, bottom, tilt. Let's just go for a yellow effect. That's it's looking really stupid right now, isn't it? It's not even looking anything like what you wanted it to look like. But you could start to that's not looking good, is it? You'd increase it. So the trouble is, though, with the bottom at the moment, it's doing that, you see. But this is where, like, so if I just give this a white background, for instance. So I've just added a color to my background. I mean, I'm just doing it without adding in any coding at the moment, okay? I've just flipped it. You'd have to mess around with it, because look, at the moment it's doing this, so you're going to have to mess around with its positioning and everything. But, you could, yeah, all Z index as well. So you could just, you just got to play around with oh, hold on, I'm doing the section there, aren't I? No, that's the icon. What am I doing? That should work. That should work. You'd have to play around with it. You'd have to play around with it a bit. Yeah. So you could do something like that. I mean, but like George said, with the CSS code, you could be a lot more clinical. You could be a whole lot more clinical with it. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is what you got it, a bit of trial and error. You got to sit there and just have it on your screen, and a bit of trial and error, with the tilt and the however you do the pill or whatever, and then the size as well. I just did 1000, just sizing and all of that. And then because it's you could then put your text in, and then you'll have to do a bit of like I don't know, absolute positioning maybe, or something like that. So you got the wording overlapping the SVG. So it's a bit of experimentation. You're going to have to just jig around with it a bit. But that's what I would do. To be honest though, the benefit of the SVG is the benefit of the SVG is the size. I mean that it's going to be like 1 or 2 kilobytes. You could use an image, And the image might only be 20 or 30 kilobytes, so you could get away with that as well. In fact, if it's just a color, it's probably only going to be about 3 kilobytes, 4 kilobytes. You could get away with it. Oh yeah, absolutely. You could just use a normal image. You could just put an image in. And then exactly what George says. It's just SVGs are scalable in such a clever way. They're so scalable and you don't lose the quality. But if it's just a plain color, you could get away with the image. And you could just so you could put an image as a column background, but then you'd have to make sure you've arranged your image. So when you add the image in to your column background, right, it will go in as you've created it, cover, contain, and all of that. You can do that. But if you want it to be rotated, you'd have to make sure it's rotated in your media library before you add it onto your column background. It's one of those things where there's like many ways you could do it. I try to go with the least. I don't think you can. Off the top of my head, I can't remember actually. That's a good question. I don't think you can. I have to be honest, I cannot recall. Oh no, you can. Yeah, it's an SVG. You can do. Yeah, you could add it in. You could add an SVG as a background if you want. So you can do that, yeah. Yeah, you can. You can add an SVG as a background. Even though it says select images, you just click here and you can select an SVG. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, yes. I'm pretty sure that is correct. You've got to rotate it before. If you're going to add it to the... If you add it as an image or an icon, you can rotate it however you want. But if you're adding it to your section background or your column background, I am 99% sure you've got to rotate it before you add it. I am 99% sure of that. There's probably a way you can rotate it with CSS code. I'm sure you can, but yeah, I would rotate it. And I would say that if I go to my media library for one of these websites, I can't remember. You know when you start doubting yourself, I think you've got to rotate it before you add it to media library. I'm just going to double check. Edit image. Yeah, you got to rotate it before you add it to your media library. No, Dave, don't worry. Don't worry. I don't mind if you do ignore. if it means you're working and get things done, it's not a bad thing. I'm just trying to plan in my head a better layout for something anyway. I did something and I'm now, every time I look at it, I go, yeah, I just don't feel it. I don't feel it. And if I don't feel it, I don't like it. If I rule the world. Did I rule the world? Do 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 do. Dun 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 do 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 do. That layout I was going to do is probably not going to work well now. Got to play around with it in my head a little bit what I'm going to do here. Will I add an image? Do 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 do. Have another, yeah, yeah. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Dan, it's there's always many ways to achieve something, and you know, I would absolutely say that if you can do it via pure code, that is the lightest way to do it, as long as your code's not massive. As long as your image isn't huge as well and you've compressed it. And as long as it looks okay on the desktop, tablet, mobile, you can get away with it. You can get away with it. Hey Gary, how you doing? Harold Faltermeyer. I do know that he was the composer of Axel Foley tune, and I'm actually quite amazed that you know that as well. Harold Faltermeyer. Was he German? I don't know where he's from. Let me just do a search for him. Harold Faltermeyer. He is. He's a German musician and composer. Ah, I did not know that. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Herpes simplex. Herpes simplex. Wow, record player. Yeah, it's one of my favourite tunes, that was as well. Dun 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 dun. Yep, Beverly Hills Cop. That's the tune. That is the tune. Beverly Hills Cop. We could sit here all day, couldn't we, just humming this? Right, just trying to work something out here on a layout that I'm setting up. The layout just feels a little bit too, I don't want to say rubbish, but it feels a little bit rubbish. Yeah, REM1. Let's go with REM1. I'm just experimenting with something here. That's what it is. It's 1.125. I did not know that. That's interesting. Let's try that then. So let's go with 1.125. That's about the same. Let's go with 1. Reset style, reset style, reset style. Paste style, paste style, paste style. Oh, just seeing a question. Beekeeper suits. Repairing. Yeah, watch out for your bees getting in. So Gary's question, how's the web design business? Is drying up over in state? I think that one of the things is about a lot of people are more willing to just create the website themselves. Some people still need support and whatever. But I think it depends, you know. So where you have people that are struggling for time, they're going to want someone to work and develop it for them, without a doubt. It's finding those people. But what I would say is where you've got agencies that are shutting down or whatever, were they a successful agency? Or were they only satisfying like a type of customer, for instance? So were they a successful agency, you know, were they kind of in the market where they could successfully scale up and expand and be good at what they're doing? Because sometimes, right, that does make a difference, doesn't it? Because we might think that, oh, you know, we might think, oh, they're a really good website and they should be doing really, really well. But actually, they probably, it could be their business model. It could just be about how they're set up. It could be loads of things, and you could then start to argue about, well, maybe there's so many variables kick in. I mean, there is still a market in the UK for sure. Definite, there is still a market. I can definitely say that. Is it a very successful, great market? I think that all depends on your type of customer you're trying to attract and work with. And I have to be honest, we don't really go out comparing ourselves to others as well, because yeah, I mean, look, Dave's made a very good point there. If you know these other companies have shut down for whatever reason, try and approach their customers. Exactly what Peter said as well. Hey Matt, how you doing? Yeah, we're okay. Just working on a website in the background here. And we've had clients where they had a quote offer, so then went to do it themselves, come back to us 2 or 3 months later because the website is bad or not working, or they realized it's more work than it actually is, and they believed all those GoDaddy adverts where they oh yeah, you can build a website in half an hour. They believed all of that garbage. And then they go, oh, but the page looks awful. You go, well, yeah, there's your half an hour website, because you believed what they gave you, and now you can't do much with it. Din 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 din. Do 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 do. I'm actually starving, but I'm only going to be live for another in fact, I'm only going to be live for another 45 minutes. Have a quick 5-minute break, and then I've got to jump onto a prep call with the Elementor people, and then we go live at 3 p.m. UK time with that talk webinar about Elementor Cloud and scaling businesses and stuff like that. I don't think, to be honest, I've noticed a lot of websites that are hard coded. I have noticed though really big businesses. Take care, Peter. Really, really big businesses that have tons of money. They tend to go down the hard coded route because everything is clinically done in such a way for what they want to do. Don't worry, Matt. Elementor will put a replay up somewhere on the website or the community group or something anyway. There'll always be a replay. Ugh, why did I do that? Dang it. Just did the wrong thing. Dang it. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can sort this out. We can sort this out. You know, we can sort this out. What have I done here? So Gary, just to amuse myself when I'm looking around, I often look at the source code. I do as well. So sometimes when I see a really good website, I look at it just to see, is it Elementor? Is it Wix? Is it Divi? What's going on here? How is this built? And I sometimes test it on scanwp.net. So scanwp.net. That then tells me if it's a WordPress website, what plugins they've used. And if it's not WordPress, you can then do a CMS check and it then says, oh, it's been built using whatever. Often that's a good thing to do, Matt, because I think that when you are improving your site, you sometimes start to learn new skills. And someone might, you know, it kind of expands your knowledge and skill set, basically. So it's not a bad thing. Well, no, you know what it is? A lot of them don't even know what WordPress is. Like you say to them, oh, is your WordPress built on WordPress? No, is your website built on WordPress? They go, no, it's GoDaddy. You go, no, GoDaddy's your hosting. Oh, no, it's GoDaddy or whatever. And you go, no, it's WordPress. I can see it's WordPress. When I click on your image, it says WP Contents Uploads. I can see it. Oh, or you say, oh, you're using WooCommerce. Oh, no, I'm not using WooCommerce. It's an e-commerce website, not Woo. It's e-commerce. And you go, right click. It says WooCommerce. E-commerce is the type of, it's the broad term. WooCommerce is the solution you've used, like Shopify or whatever. And they totally don't get it. Which Chrome extensions are they? Which Chrome extensions are you using? Yeah, well, I've heard that as well. So someone, they said the same thing. They went, oh yeah, it's a specially built website. The person built it from scratch. And I right-clicked and went, it's an Elementor website. They're like, yeah, it's built from scratch. I go, yeah, I get that. They probably started with a blank page. And I could see that. And what was really funny is, right, here's the funny bit. Their website was built using one of the Astra starter templates. And I even sent them an image of what the original website... In fact, do you know which one it was? It was one of their yoga ones, but it kind of, which name was it? There was a name, they had a couple. It's one of their yoga ones, and I basically said, look, here's the website. Here's the template. Notice the layout. All they've done is swap your images and wording. And they were like, yeah, but they built it from scratch. I go, yeah, I know. You had a blank WordPress. There was nothing there. They then added Elementor and Astra, starter template, and then they added in the content. That does not mean from scratch. A bespoke from scratch total is where you hard code it. And they're like, You know, it's like someone saying to you, I made this burger from scratch. And all they've done is taken a Big Mac, taken everything out, got 6 chicken nuggets, put the nuggets onto the burger, put the back on top and go, look, I made this. No, you just used what was available. You didn't make the bread out of thin air, did you? Yeah, exactly, Dave. But they were in denial that, oh no, it's not built with Elementor. I go, yeah, it is. It's built with Elementor. And another website, they had Elementor, and they had one of those those GPL license versions, so it wasn't even the official license version. And I was like, ooh, ooh. Did you pay for this? Built with technology and WP Sniffer. Ooh, I like the sounds of that. I'm not going to ask Matt how you got to found that. Like, did you just type in, give me a sniffing extension? WP Sniffer and built with technology. Ooh, I like that. Because I normally have to open a scan wp.net website and then put the URL in. But if it just does it for you, that'd be cool. Built with technology. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to think that we do eventually get to a point in the world. Like, so about 9 years ago, I started using Tableau at work, which is a visual data visualization tool. Let me get my words right. And it's really cool. And I learned how to use it. I used to go around training people up on it. And it was the early days. And then, now there's jobs advertised everywhere. Tableau developer, Tableau report designer, Tableau analyst. There's jobs out there, right? I could probably go and do one. But I'd love it if we got to a point where people start advertising for Elementor developer, Elementor designer, Elementor webmaster. I'd love it if we ever got to that stage. Or even just WordPress. WordPress master. WordPress guru. WordPress dungeon master. Now there's a title. Sounds dodgy though, innit? Would you really apply for WordPress dungeon master? I'd be a bit careful. When I first started learning, I used to use Astra and use their template and then look up, right, how do they do that? And how do they do that? And what's that? And what's that? And then I just switched to Hello, and now, a blank page from scratch. Yeah, I mean, I would say, though, what annoys me is sometimes I do see a role somewhere, and they're like, website designer. And then they go, you got to have PHP, C++, Java, boom, boom, and they go do, and you kind of go, forget it. Yeah, a junior role would be good like that. I mean, and this, Matt, goes back to something I say so many times in the live chats and on videos, is at the minute, whether you have a job or not, or you're doing this as a hobby, or you're freelancing or an agency, right? You are the master of your destiny. You're in control, and you need to make sure hey, Jason, you want to make sure you're not working with clients or businesses that make you feel uncomfortable or make you start doubting what you can and can't do. So you start stressing yourself out. And when you start working for someone, there's always a chance or a danger that they might take you into a direction or something where you're not comfortable. And when you're not comfortable, that's when you make mistakes, or you will get things wrong, or you just feel like, I can't do this. I seriously can't do this, and then you start panicking. And it's always better to kind of do what you can do really, really well, and not put yourself in a situation where, like, people then going, oh, you said you could build websites. And this gets me, yeah. Sometimes people have, clients said they wanted something, right? And they were like, but you said you could build websites. And I went, I've asked around, and I keep getting told to build what you want is going to cost £20,000. It is so bespoke in coding. It is so unique in what you want. Yeah, but you said you can build websites. Yeah, I also can build sandwiches, but I can't build a sandwich that's going to feed the world, right? There's always limitations about what we can and can't do. And I would rather build a sandwich that I don't have to stress about. I don't care if the butter ain't even. I don't care what I put on it. I'll do what I want to do. I know. I mean, I used to do a lot. Wherever I've worked, I used to do a lot of recruitment for data analysts, report managers, information managers, information analysts, and I would look at their degrees and their education, but often what I was looking for was experience. And did I get a feel that they're willing, or do I get a feel that they, maybe with a bit of help and support, they could get it? And here's a great story. There was someone I remember who came for a job, and it was a junior job, junior analyst, and the salary was going to be, at that time, the salary would have been £18,000. Okay, which is quite a bit of money, 18,000. And they were currently employed in a job full time where they were earning £13,000. They weren't just junior, they were like junior, right? And they were told, I found out, they told me this afterwards, they were told by everyone they worked with, you will never get that job. There is no way you're going to get that job, right? You're down here. You haven't got the experience, you haven't got the qualifications, you haven't got the degree, you've never touched analytical stuff. You just do the basic processing. And she came to the interview, and I could tell she was nervous, but I saw something in her. I saw a willingness. I saw someone who, she's applied. She wants to give it a go. She hasn't got all the education or whatever behind her, but she's got something in her that I felt like, with the right support and guidance, she could get there. And I employed her. We had 6 other people who had qualifications, but I took her on. And with the right support and guidance, and I employed her in 2015, at the end of 2014, and she started with us January 2015. And 7 years on, she's still there. She's still working. She's moved up. She's promoted, right? She's doing really well. She's good at what she does, and it's about the willingness, the fact that I could see that just because you walk in with your qualification does not mean, to me, jack shit half the time. Because yes, it shows you achieved something, but it's about how do you apply that? Can you? Can you showcase what you do? Can you talk to people? Can you handle stress? Can you manage your time? All these sort of things kick in. Hey, Anik. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. I mean, So when I first started building websites with Elementor, when we first started the agency, so before we started using Elementor, we were comfortable with certain types of websites. And I have to be honest, I was not a fan of WooCommerce websites because there's always so much more stuff you got to manage and look after. And when it came to like hotel booking websites, there's a load more stuff you got to make sure you get sorted out. And once you start to work with a client where you got to do that and you time it so you have time to learn and do and test and make sure you got the best working solution, you become more confident in your ability in what you do. And then your skill set just grows and grows and grows. So like Dave says, yeah, don't just do the basic stuff. Obviously make sure you know you're working with a client where they're not going to go, hey, this is meant to be done. Why is it not done yet? You know, so if they say they want it done by tomorrow and it's a new area you've not done before, try and give yourself a bit more time. You know, try and double the time up if you can. So you can ask other people if you need to get guidance or support. Or you just ask us a lot and we'll all go, we don't know. We don't know. What are you doing? No, we wouldn't do that, but you know what I mean. We don't know. Oh my God. You took on what project? We'd be better than that. Why is that got padding? I don't remember adding any padding in there. Did I add padding in? I don't think I did. Ah, magnifique. What have I done here? I'm not ignoring, by the way, just to let you all know, I'm just quickly just adjusting an image I've got here because something's not right with the size. Yeah, that's better. That's better. 362. Cool. I think the thing is, Matt, is that, you know, if you know you're going to do it and you're not, you know, you make sure your income doesn't suffer and make sure you're looking after yourself, okay? You just got to find where you can start from and then build from there. Ah, sorry to hear that, Gary, as well. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, COVID was wasn't the greatest time, was it, for a lot of businesses, especially clients who were then just shutting down. I mean, if some clients decided to move their businesses completely online. And that's a very good point you're making there, George. Sometimes, right, and that was the thing about that was the thing about when I was doing an interview with that person I was talking about 7 years ago. Everyone else, when I asked them the question, they just reeled off. They just reeled off similar answers that I kind of expected, but they sounded very similar. Yet we do this, 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 and it just felt like tick box answers. And this person, when I asked them a question, if there was stuff they didn't know, they kind of, I don't really know the best answer for that, but I think I would do this, this, this. And they were very honest in what they could and couldn't do, or what they feel they would maybe try and do otherwise. And it just felt like this is someone who there's willing, rather than they just reeled off the answers. And I was like, how much do they actually understand what they're saying, or are they just reeling off? Because that's the textbook answer to give for that kind of question. So sometimes when you say to some people, what's your understanding of equality and diversity? Out comes the wording, which everyone kind of half repeats about equality and blah, blah, blah. And I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something to do with, it went a bit deeper. And I could almost feel like I'm detecting that wherever she works, she's not getting that. And I actually went to her wedding. When we had the football, England versus Italy in the final, so the Euros, Euro 20 or Euro 21, because it was a year later. Her wedding was that day, so I actually attended her wedding as well, which was nice. And I remember when I employed her, so many people in my team were like, why have you employed that person? Because they were like 3 grades below. A lot of people here, this will not mean a thing to you, but if you work in the NHS, she was a band 2, and I employed her for a band 5. She was on a band 2. We're talking really low salary here. And I made the point because the whole point of this is a junior analyst role. This is someone who's perfect for the junior role to develop and learn. I could take someone who's already in a junior analyst role. Well, they're going to come and then they might not stick around as well. Yeah, go for it, Jimmy. Don't worry. It's always better when you're silent, Jimmy, anyway, It's always better when you're quiet. It's when you're here I have to become all serious. Matt, you're exactly right. Once you get another 4 or 5 websites with maybe a bit of variety, you're also going to start to understand what kind of websites you like to work on as well. Do you find, what is your niche area? Do you find, no problems, Jimmy, do you find that you're like WooCommerce, appointment booking, basic websites, portfolios, CVs, 1 page, 20 page? Where's your strengths lie? And where there's stuff you don't like, you can always still develop in that. So like I said, I'm not bothered if it's a WooCommerce website or not. But in the early days, I was like, oh no, so much stuff we got to sort out and worry about. But then you find your way, and I remember we turned around 2 WooCommerce websites in like 4 days. This is going back to January 2021. In 4 days, we just turned 2 around because you get into a rhythm of how you like to do things. But yeah, it'd be really cool if there were eventually like roles out there, Elementor Webmaster, Elementor this, or WordPress, whatever. And they kind of ditched the whole hardcore C++, JavaScript, major coding and all that. Well, hopefully you can go in and you can. I mean, where are you looking for these jobs? Obviously, you're in the UK. Whereabouts are you looking? LinkedIn, job websites. Whereabouts are you looking, Matt? And if they do mention page builders, you want to go in now and go, right, you're using a page builder, you need to be using Elementor. It's the leader. It's voted as the best page builder in the awards. It's got, I don't know, it must be close to 11. I don't know, it's over 10 million at the moment. So where are you finding them, Matt? I mean, are these roles on LinkedIn, or are you actually going to like proper web companies? Oh, Indeed plays. So what you want to do is reach out to them. Reach out to them. I mean, what have you got to lose? And I know you're saying you want to do it when you're more comfortable. I know you say like you want to get more comfortable with it, but just reach out. Reach out. Because right now, tell me if I'm right. You don't have to say anything here, Matt, but are you employed right now? Are you employed right now? If you're not employed right now, go for it. And if it doesn't work out, you leave and go on and do something else. Don't leave. If you've got a day job now, don't leave that. That might be a bit risky, but if you've not got a job now, go for it. What you got to lose? You're not giving anything up. In fact, there's a higher chance that you're going to come out of it better learnt. You know, I've had people who've joined us. It might not have worked out for them, and they went and did something else. But they left with SQL, with Tableau, with using Excel, advanced macros, advanced analytics, doing stuff with pivot tables and VLOOKUPs and if statements they never even ever thought they could do. They come out better. So, and maybe no one else has applied. You don't know, and there's a chance that there is someone else who works there as well that you can learn of. And don't forget, hey Elikor, and don't forget Matt, okay, we're here. Hey, maybe you join the Mastery membership. Hey, that's what you should do. You should join the Mastery membership so you can talk about stuff and we keep everything private. But you could also like share like any issues or anything you're having here on the live chats as well. Oh, I need to do X, I need to do Y. What are you guys thinking? We're not there. Exactly what Dave says. You'll know a lot more than other people. And, how did I learn to use Elementor? I watched videos. I read a few blogs. I was asking loads of questions on the Facebook group when I first started. How do I do that? How do I do this? What about this? What about that? Why is this not moving? Why is it moving? Where is the responsive mode button? Oh, it's there. Okay, sorry. We all started off somewhere like that. So, in fact, I'm only going to be live for the next... I am going to shut this down in 12 minutes. So, when I shut down, go and get your application done, okay? Go and do that. And you don't even have to share or talk about it ever again in this group or even say... how it went well, whatever. Use it as a learning experience. And if you get an interview, great. If you get it, even better. If you don't get it, make sure you make a note of what they asked you. What were they looking for? See what George said there? I bet the video was how do I save? And George did a video on you go to file and click save. And that person's job is now saved. No, but I'm joking. It's probably more than that. But go for it. I mean, we've all I mean, come on, the way you got to look at it, yeah. I don't think anyone here has done a degree in Elementor or a degree in Divi. My degree is in law. People, when I was in the NHS, people used to say, "Oh, have you got a computer sciences degree or an analytics degree?" I go, "No, my degree was in law. It's got nothing to do with analytics per se. More to do with, well, analyzing activity and stuff." But a lot of people probably, I mean, I know loads of people that build websites and they've got no JavaScript, C+ experience whatsoever. If you've got it, it can seriously help you out with doing loads of funky stuff. But hey, go for it. You know, and like I said, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But the fact there was a job means there will be other jobs. There you go. Look, Mark's was in leisure management. Yeah, but Mark, your degree kind of fits with you. You are very much into the whole health and fitness as well and all that. And I know you manage your health very well. But it's like so even if you don't get it, the fact there was a job means there will be another job come up again. You got to look at it like that. You lose one, you don't become depressed and lose hope on one. You look for the next one that comes up. And the experience you'll gain from the interview, the application process, is big. I mean, wow, Dave. I mean, that kind of says it, doesn't it? You know, you learn what you to do, and then most of the time, it's not about what you know, it's how you exhibit it. So if you're able to be a bit more confident in your ability in helping people, you don't give false promises, you don't mess people around, and you build trust. That's what we focus a lot on in the Mastery membership. When you build trust, you will then, people often will kind of, they navigate to you. They feel attracted to you. They want to work with you. You know, and I mean, like, look, I could have someone who's got 20 years. They've got every degree, every qualification in web design, whatever, under the sun, right? But if they are someone who I'm like, I don't like you, I don't like your attitude or the way you are, I won't work with them. But you'd rather work with someone who you feel like, hey, we got a good vibe going on here. We get on, we click. You know, we can high five. Everybody right now, put your hand up to the screen. High five. Go on. High five. Right? We can do that. We get on, and that's why sometimes some of the people I've employed, I have assessed and gone, right, do I feel like they are going to be a great fit, not just with me, but with the team? Or are they going to come in and they are an expert? They could hit the ground running, but are they going to come in and destabilize that team? Are they going to come in and upset people? Don't care. Don't care what your qualifications you got. Don't want to know. Because you want people to enjoy coming to work. You want people to feel happy. You don't want people to go, oh God, I don't want to go to work. So-and-so's there. Oh, I really don't want to see them today. You just don't want that. I mean, it kind of goes against everything like you used to get taught whenever you did HR training and stuff. Like, oh, you got to make sure that you don't, you know, if someone can hit or tick all the boxes, you got to give them the job. And I always used to argue and go, well, no. If I get this really strong feeling that they are going to be like chauvinistic or sexist or whatever, and they are going to upset people, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. Spock, the Wrath of Khan. He speaks true. I just read what Matt just said. WP Bakery. Ooh, WP Bakery. We don't know everything, Matt. We don't. Okay. I don't know everything, and I keep saying to people, I don't know everything about Elementor or whatever. I am not. When it comes to analysis and analytics, I like to think I am really good at my programming and coding with analytics. But when it comes to CSS, I have to think hard about it. JavaScript, I don't want to get anywhere near it. But there'll be people here like George. He's going to know tons more of coding stuff than me. Pickstar, he's going to know code tons more as well. You know? Exactly. You know what George has just said there about the people that don't have the ticks? Because I always feel like, you know, when I interview someone and they have not got as strong qualifications, but I can see they're willing to work hard, they're the people I want to help the most. And you know why? Because someone else out there might not give them a chance, and they're the ones that will end up then working in a shop, stacking shelves. Nothing wrong with that, but there's someone, they went and got a degree, they went and did Dex, they went and did whatever, and they're working places, and you can see they want to do more, right? They're the people I want to just lift up, and I want to give them a second chance. I want to help them and guide them to become better. And I'm really proud of some of the people I've employed. So there's one person, I won't name him name. You guys won't even know him. I remember when he came for the interview, other people on the panel did not want to take him on. I took him on. He's now very, very senior in the NHS. He is very, very senior. And people didn't want to take him on just because of some things. And I was like, hold on. And I have had issues with him over the years. I'm not going to lie. We haven't always seen eye to eye. We've bickered. We've fallen out. But he respects me. I respect him. And I employed him. Because there is something about them that just is a little bit more. And believe me, I used to have so many arguments with HR. Oh, you can't base your interview on the way they look or the way they talk or what they do. And I say, actually, sometimes you have to. I admit it. I had to be sometimes a bit selective because just because they tick the boxes, that's just too easy. Yeah, that one, Mark. That one. So the other two people on the panel, and I bet you know one of them. I mean, I can even put it on here. So one of the other people on the panel, right, there's your clue, did not want to take him on. And I could see that he had willing. And you know what? Me and him have not always seen eye to eye. We have fallen out many times. But I know he knows that I gave him that. I was the one who stuck my neck out for him and says, no, let's get him in because he could hit the ground. He couldn't hit the ground running, but I could see that he's capable. He can be a bit of an arse though as well, Mark. He can be a bit of an arse, but you know, he can also deliver. And we know he's delivering because he is where he is. He's probably lied and schemed and cheated half his way to get there, but hey, he does it well. Just read what you said, Dave. Yeah. I mean, I was speaking to one client once, and I was explaining them to websites, and they were like, excuse me, I know what a website is. All I want is X, Y, Z. And I was like, okay, you better go somewhere else then. I thought, whoa. I'm just trying to explain to you the difference between the domain hosting and the website. Because they're like, what's your price? And I go, right, but have you got domain and hosting? No. What's your website build? And it's like, no, stop. Domain, there's a cost. Hosting, there's a cost. Ongoing costs. Website build, one-off, maintenance. You've got to understand the blocks of what's being built here. And this client was like, no. I don't want to know that. I know what I'm, all right, chill out. Oh, Matt, I can tell you now. Matt, okay, here, Matt. I've just seen your question here, okay, about people in full time. Do they still use YouTube? I can tell you now, okay, that when we're doing data analytics, there are still people that go onto YouTube. How do I do this formula? How do I do X, Y, Z? How do I do something in Tableau? How do I do a SQL stored procedure? How do I do a view upon a view with a trigger and a cursor? How do I do all this stuff? There's no shame in that. Do you know how many analysts that are getting paid megabucks, right, will still be part of a technology forum because they need to do some special SQL coding or something for analysis, modeling, Python, all this stuff? Do you know how much that is happening right now? Yeah, and that, to be honest, Mark, what you've said there about BNRs, I couldn't be. Do you know what? That's the reason why me and him and others used to fall out. In fact, why me and H&N fell out as well. I cannot. I can't be. I'm not down with the whole sucking up and political games. I just can't be doing with that. Dan, I haven't got an email. No emails come through yet. I'll shut my email down and go back. I'll just shut it down and go back in. Yeah, so Elikor, let me just give you this video, okay? Hold on, let me give you this video. This is the video you need to watch, right? This video will solve your life, okay? So Elikor. Is it Elikor? Yeah, it's Elikor. Watch that video, okay? Exactly what Mark said. We've got competent web designers in our mastery program. And like someone yesterday, we asked for a review of their website. I'm really proud of where they started with and where they doubted their abilities to where they've got to now. I'm just like, wow. Super, super good. Right, Dan, your emails come through. Let me just, I'm looking at your site. Yeah, Dan. That's kind of it, isn't it? That's kind of it, right? High five, Dan. Come on, put your hand up. I know your hand is not up. Get your hand up. High five. Well done, Dan. Well done. Impressive. Yeah, so there you go, Ellie Cole. I've put the link there for you, okay? I've put the link for you. So this is the video, all right? Watch this video. It goes through the plugins, the settings, the optimization. I even cover off your basic website, your blog, and your WooCommerce. Shop template, single product template. Ding, 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 ding. All of these things. It's a 2-hour video, but it's time-stamped. Go and skip and watch what you need to watch. Right, I am actually going to have to shut down, guys, because I'm going to start a live chat with the Elementor people in a moment. Well done, Dan. Really, really well done. Right, so I'm going to just answer Jason's question and I'm going to shut down. Do you have any opinions on Duda? Not really. I don't know much about Duda. I have to be honest. I hear about it. I've never really experimented or gone into it yet. Yeah, what Mark said there, Winnie. She's part of the Mastery membership, and she's, she's got her work, she's got her day job and everything, which very long hours, and really impressed with the right guidance and support. Right, everyone. I am logging off now because I've got to have a break. Because I'm now going to jump into another 2-hour session, prep, and then we got our live chat as well with the Elementor team. Hey, it's been great. I think we've talked about loads of good stuff. Matt, go and get your application in, okay? And if you ever want to, email, private conversation. We don't have to share it here. Please feel, all right? I love to help, okay? Take care and good luck, everyone. And I shall see you soon.